The US government has launched an investigation into Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, the world's leading chip maker. At the heart of the probe lies TSMC's relationship with Huawei, a Chinese tech giant. US authorities are concerned that TSMC may be aiding Huawei in circumventing US sanctions. These sanctions, imposed on national security grounds, restrict the sale of advanced chips to Huawei. Before we dive into deep, please subscribe to our channel TrendTalkTube to watch videos like this. The outcome of this investigation carries significant weight, potentially reshaping the global technology landscape. TSMC has publicly stated its commitment to adhering to all applicable regulations. The company maintains it is fully cooperating with the investigation. Meanwhile, Huawei has consistently denied any wrongdoing. They assert their independence from the Chinese government. The stakes are high, with the investigation shining a spotlight on the escalating tensions in the US-China tech war. TSMC, a Taiwanese multinational corporation, is the world's largest dedicated semiconductor foundry. It manufactures chips for Apple, Qualcomm, and Nvidia. TSMC is a focal point in the US-China tech rivalry. Huawei, based in Shenzhen, is a leading provider of telecommunications equipment. The US placed Huawei on the entity list amid rising tensions. The tech war reflects broader economic and geopolitical struggles. The US government's investigation centers on whether TSMC violated US export control laws by providing Huawei with advanced chips without obtaining the required licenses. The US Department of Commerce, responsible for enforcing export control laws, leads the investigation. The department has the authority to impose sanctions on companies found in violation. Should TSMC be found in violation of US export control laws, it could face severe consequences. These penalties range from hefty fines and export restrictions to potential criminal charges. One possible outcome is the addition of TSMC to the entity list, which would restrict US companies from conducting business with TSMC without obtaining a license. The investigation's outcome remains uncertain. However, the implications are far-reaching and closely watched by industry experts and governments worldwide. A decision against TSMC could send shockwaves through the global semiconductor industry, potentially disrupting supply chains and driving up prices for electronic devices. Semiconductor industry on edge, potential fallout. The investigation into TSMC's dealings with Huawei has sent ripples of uncertainty throughout the global semiconductor industry. As a linchpin in the global chip supply chain, any disruption to TSMC's operations could have cascading effects. The investigation underscores the critical role semiconductors play in the global economy. Semiconductors are the essential building blocks of countless electronic devices, from smartphones and computers to automobiles and medical equipment. As the world becomes increasingly reliant on technology, the demand for semiconductors continues to surge. The investigation highlights the growing geopolitical risks faced by the semiconductor industry. The US-China tech war has already introduced disruptions to the global supply chain for these critical components. The scrutiny of TSMC's activities suggests a willingness by the US government to take decisive action to maintain its technological edge. The road ahead, expert opinions and predictions. The investigation's outcome remains unclear, leaving industry experts to speculate about its impact on the global semiconductor landscape. Some predict increased scrutiny and stricter export controls. This could lead to delays and increased costs for companies. Others believe it could accelerate US-China tech decoupling, resulting in two distinct technology ecosystems. This would impact global innovation and collaboration. Conclusion: navigating uncertainty in a global tech war. The US investigation into TSMC's ties with Huawei highlights the escalating tensions and complexities of the US-China tech war. The outcome of this investigation carries significant implications for the global semiconductor industry and the broader technology landscape. As the investigation unfolds, its impact will be closely monitored by governments, industry leaders, and consumers worldwide. The investigation underscores the strategic importance of semiconductors in the 21st century. As technology continues to advance at an unprecedented pace, access to and control over the production of these essential components will become increasingly important. The outcome of this investigation could shape the future of the global technology landscape for years to come.